Okay, right now I'm starting this. I don't have the replacement fluid yet, but I'm going to go ahead and drain it. I took off the X brace that was right here. I don't know if you remember, there's an X brace that sits right here to help with your steering. Anyway, one of the things that I did notice is on the X brace, these are your transmission fluid return lines. This is attached to the X brace with a 10mm nut. The actual bolt is on the X brace itself, and you got to reach in here. This is kind of a U shape. You got to reach in here with a 10mm and just unscrew that nut, and then you can move this out of the way. There's, I think, let's see, 2, 4, 6 bolts that hold it on all together. 2 over here, 2 over here, and let's see, where's it at? 1 right here, and another one over here. After that, my next video I'm going to tackle showing y'all how to take off the strut brace. You see the scissor jack that I have right there? That is bracing, that is actually supporting the transmission in preparation of removing that. So if you got something like that, or just a regular hydraulic jack, I got it up on some 2x4s and a 4x4, and just put just a little bit of tension on it. I don't want to put too much because I don't want to crack anything. Just enough to support it while I remove that brace. Anyway, more to come. 4x4, and just put just a little bit of tension on it. I don't want to put too much because I don't want to crack anything. Just enough to support it while I remove that brace. Anyway, more to come. Okay, I got the tranny brace out, and just so you know, the only thing you need to remove on the back side of this is the top of it. Okay, so it's mounted like that. Only thing you have to remove are these 4 triple squares, which I believe are 12mm triple square, and you're gonna have to remove these 2 triple square out of the center. There are 3 nuts that are on right there, and there on the back side. You don't have to remove those. The only thing you have to remove is these 2 10mm triple square, and these 4 12mm triple square. And there's one, let's see, I think there's one nut right here that you have to pull out that's a 13mm. And I noticed after I got this off, let me show you guys. Come under here. I hope you don't get too dizzy. Okay. After you get that off, there's another brace underneath right here that are 10mm triple square, and there's 3 bolts. One here, one there. There's another one on the other side. It's kind of dirty right there. Once that comes off, you'll have access to these. There's 2 screws. Only reason why you're pulling that off is because there's 2 screws that hold the tranny pan in, and they're underneath this lip. Go figure. But once you get that off, it's just these torx screws that are going all the way around. And I don't know exactly. I'll specify what size torx these are whenever I get to them. But anyway, that's where I'm sitting right now. Alright guys, I got the cover off. Only problem I'm gonna have, it looks like, if y'all ever run into this issue, this is where the leak is, coming out of those 2 O-rings right there. They need to be replaced, but obviously when you look at this, the valve body is going to have to come down. Won't have to come completely out, just down, or at least make it to where I can move it out of the way, so I can push that the rest of the way out. I'm hoping I can disconnect. I can just unbolt it and kind of drop it a little bit without having to unplug it, because I'm sure it is paired as everything is with these Audis. Unplugging it will cause it possibly to unpair, so that would not be good. So I will let y'all know. If anybody else knows, please comment. I appreciate it. Okay, I got the umbilical off, and a little trick here. There's two tabs that you need to unclip in order to get this off, and this is one of them. This is the one that's nearest the front of the vehicle. You know, all you do is pull it up. It'll pull up, and there's another one that's kind of hidden. The tab that you actually pull is on the back side, and it's this one. Your valve body is sitting right here. Oh, sorry. There's this one, and there's this one. This one is nearest the front of the vehicle. This one is nearest the rear of the vehicle. Your valve body is sitting right here, so the tab that you pull on is on the back side. So it would behoove you to get something like this. You can get them at like Lowe's or Home Depot or something for like $3 a set of them. And what I did, I reached back there and just popped it up. Now this plug is in there pretty snug, and what I did, I just took a pair of pliers and very, very cautiously I pulled on this side just a tad and this side just a tad, just to get it started, and then I grabbed it in the center and it came right out. Then you let this dangle, okay, because it's these, by the way, these on the other underside of this, these areas right here, here, and here are actually connected to some screws that you need to remove. So you're going to pull this out, wiggle these off of the screw heads, and then, stand by, and then, okay, this is looking towards the rear of the vehicle. The rear of the vehicle is that way. Runs that way, obviously. This is where the electrical connector goes that has the bad O-rings. When you pull this out, this, you can barely see it because let me see if I can pull this light over a little closer. There we go. This is a plastic piece. It's got 2 grommets in it. One of the grommets is right here. It's still inside it. And this one, the grommet came out and it's actually on the valve body. It's right there. Okay. Now I can remove it and put it back in there, but I'm just going to leave it in there because evidently that's where it wants to be, and I don't want to have to replace it just in case. But anyway, and that's the valve body. I always and I had an area to rest it when it came down. And when you pull those screws out, there's going to be probably another, probably 8 ounces of fluid that's going to come gushing out. I found that out. Also, don't mess with this. This will go into the mechanism on the side of the valve body that is on this side right here. There's a little notch that actually slides into this piece. So long as you don't mess with them, they're not going to move. And when I put it back in, it should slide right in. But I'll do another video whenever I start putting it in. Okay, to put the new grommets back on, again I use this, and these are the old ones, and I already put the new ones back on. When you put these on, it's pretty self-explanatory. These fit relatively snug, not too bad, but I put it over it and I rolled it down and put the first one in the top notch, and then I put the second one on, and because the first one's already in the top notch, it'll roll right over and land right into the second notch. So pretty easy. Okay, get this light over here so you can see. Okay, what I did, you see I already got it in. It wasn't that bad. Main thing to remember, when you have this out, what I did to prevent static from messing up anything whenever I eventually put it back in. I kept my arm pretty much against any kind of metal, and I'd periodically touch it and stuff. Also, while this is out, I didn't touch any machine surface underneath here, because I didn't want to contaminate it, because there's not any conventional seals around any ports that are going into the transmission, so I didn't want to contaminate any of that, and I wanted to still sit flush with this. And while this was out, I didn't touch the back side of this either, so no matter what, it stayed as clean as it was when it came out. As far as the umbilical, this is umbilical. I already put the seals in it, which you saw. When you put this in, while this is out, obviously, when you put this in, there's if you look, there's 2 notches right here on the opposite side of this. On this side, there's 1 notch, and it slides into a piece of the actual transmission body. So it's kind of idiot proof. And once you get it in, there's this clip right here. You have to remove this in order to get this out. This clip, once you push this in, it's not going to be too terribly bad, especially if you put some oil around the O-rings. Push it in and then just clip this into place, and it's there. And this is what I'm talking about with the with these connecting to the bolts. The particular bolt that this one connects to, let's see, where was it? I think it's right there. Yeah, that's it. This one right here. So this connects over this, and there's a few of them. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. But don't plug this in and until you get everything together. Actually, I'm not even going to plug it in until I get the entire thing together, as far as the filter and the cap over it, because I don't want any type of a charge to be. I didn't unplug my battery, which I should have, I guess, but I don't want any kind of a charge to diminish from here into here and mess up one of my valves or something. Anyway, that's where I'm sitting. More to come.